So finding your comfortable seat. If your knees are kind of like up here, it's also good to sit on a pillow or block or blanket if that feels good for you. So go ahead and find your seat. We'll be here for just a few moments. So I'll start with our first little affirmation of the day, and this came from my calendar when I ripped it off this morning. And it says, I recognize that awareness is the first step in healing or changing. I've become more aware with each passing day. So just being aware of everything, that's going on around you, and just listening to your intuition. There's just a lot of stuff flying around. So listen to your intuition, do your own education, research, whatever it needs to be, and your gut feeling will lead you in the right direction. So let's bring our hands towards our heart. We'll start with our Pranayama Breath, which is Robin's breath. It's a heart opener and shoulder opener, which is what we'll be focusing on to shine our light, is our heart chakra, and our arms and shoulders are an extension. So hands to the heart, inhale here, sitting up tall. Exhale, round the spine, push the hands out in front of you, tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale as you open the arms out to the side, lift the heart up towards the sky, lifting the gaze. Exhale, coming back in front, around the spine. Inhale, hands back to the heart, sit tall. Exhale, hands shoot out in front. Inhale, open the heart, lift the heart, opening the arms. Exhale, come back in front. Inhale, sit tall, prayer hands to the heart. 2 more times. Exhale, rounding, shooting out. Inhale, open your wings. Lift your love space. Exhale, bring them back together, out in front. Inhale, back to seated, spine long. 1 more time. Exhale. Inhale, open. Flying away. Exhale, close. Inhale, sitting tall. And then we'll take our mudra, which is wings of the heart. So we'll cross our wrists and then hook the thumbs, placing the palms of your hands on your chest. And our mantra for our heart chakra is YAM, Y-A-M. So we'll take a cleansing breath together. Inhale. Exhale. Out the mouth. Force it out. Squeeze it out. Next exhale, we'll do our chant. So inhale. YAM. 2 more times. Inhale. YAM. 1 more. YAM. Just go ahead and feel that vibration within your chest. And every time you do those mantras and chants, you're also working with your throat chakra. And I like to place the wings of the heart on my chest because I can really feel the vibration when I do that mantra with the heart chakra. And when you're ready, breathing your eyes open. We'll inhale the arms overhead. Exhale down to your right. Inhaling back center. Exhale to your left. 2 more times each side. Inhale up. Exhale. Hinging. Feel the sideways stretch. Inhale back center. Exhale down. And 1 more time each side. Just flowing with your own breath here. And exhale. Inhale back to center. Exhale, and we'll twist to the right. So one hand comes to the knee or the upper leg, and the other back behind you. sending your gaze over your back shoulder. And I haven't yet figured out why my phone doesn't like to do it so my phone can be horizontal. So we could get full screen on TVs, but maybe one day I'll figure that out. Next, inhale, come back through center. Exhale, opposite side. Sitting tall, so use that back hand behind you to keep the spine long, lengthened, gazing behind. And on your next inhale, coming back through center, exhaling your hands to your heart. If you are on a block and sitting tall, feel free to remove that block now. And we're going to take what's called eagle arms. So your right elbow comes underneath your left elbow. And you're either crossing just here, or you'll do a double cross at the wrists and bring the hands towards prayer. So we will be working with our shoulders in this arm position, so I want you to get used to feeling it. Lifting the elbows up just slightly, forearms pulling away from your face. And just feel the stretch in the back of the arms. And again, even if you only cross once and just do that, pull the arms away from your shoulders, from your chest, you can feel that stretch back behind you. Inhale as you release, stretching the arms up. Exhale will bring the left elbow underneath the right. And then again, elbows lift, forearms gently away. Breathing here. Start to recognize your breath. Notice the pace of the breath. Try to make those inhales and exhales equal each other, long and lengthened. Next inhale, we'll release the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. It will move to our tabletop position, setting up for cat-cow pose. I always like to do this to warm our spines a little further. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Inhale as you drop the navel towards your mat, lifting your gaze towards the sky. Exhale, push into the hands, round the shoulders, round the spine, cat pose. Tucking the chin to the chest. Inhaling back to cow. Exhaling round the cat. Just continuing to flow through these two movements with your own breath, and just notice what's going on in the body. And I really want you to focus on that cat pose and pushing into the hands. Really feel the shoulder blades pushing up towards the sky, so you feel the stretch across the shoulders. Maybe holding there for a moment so you can feel it. And then moving back into the cow. Again, our affirmation is I recognize that awareness is the first step in healing or changing. I become more aware with each passing day. And just take 2 more rounds here of cat-cow. Maybe you want to do a little funky thing where you move one shoulder up at a time, wiggle the hips, like whatever feels good to get your body stretched and warmed up. And coming back towards center, navel pulling in towards the spine. We'll inhale our right arm up towards the sky, open the chest. Exhale, and that right hand just goes in between your body and the left arm. Again, inhale up. Exhale and thread it under. One more time, inhaling up. And exhale, this time we'll thread under, ground the arm, and then ground your temple on the mat. Keeping the hips high for thread the needle pose. Again, another nice shoulder opener, stretch. Working that back of the heart chakra. One more breath here. Now your next inhale will come back up to center. tabletop position, moving to the opposite side. Inhaling, the left arm floats up. Exhale and thread. Inhale up. Exhale, thread. Then one more time. Inhaling up. Exhale, threading and grounding that arm. Grounding the temple on the mat. Hips are high. Breathe here. Keep on breathing. Our second affirmation for today is I am kind and loving towards others while creating clear boundaries that protect my good feelings and emotions. Next, inhale, coming back through center. Then we'll move to our bird dog. So stretching the right arm out in front, left leg back. Pushing down into the bottom hand. Inhale here, find your balance. Pulling the navel in. And on the exhale, round the spine, pull the elbow to the knee. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, elbow to the knee, round the spine. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Inhaling out and hold. You can stay here and hold, or you can bend the back knee, reach the arm back behind you, maybe grabbing the ankle or anything else, maybe the pants, lifting the quad up a little higher, and then release that back leg if you've grabbed it. Release the hand and knee back to the mat. So let's take that left hand and just place the top of the hand on your mat so you get a nice little break from being on the wrist. Again, I am kind and loving towards others while creating clear boundaries that protect my good feeling emotions. Coming back through center, we'll move to the opposite side. So right leg stretches back, left arm long. Give your time to find your balance here. Engage your core. Now on your next exhale, round the spine, bringing the elbow towards the knee. Inhale as you lengthen back out. Exhale, round. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Holding out. And then once you feel complete, you can bend that back knee if you want to take the little further option, a little bit more into the journey. And grab the ankle with the hand. So this helps stretch our chest as well. And our chest is just part of our heart. And sometimes if we have tight shoulders, it could just be our chest muscles pulling those forward. And then when you're ready, release the leg if you've taken that option. Release the hand. We'll go ahead and take the right hand this time, the bottom hand, placing the top of that hand on your mat. And just feel that nice stretch up the forearm and the wrist. And when you're ready, coming back to center, walk the hands out towards the top of your mat, keeping the hips high and placing the forehead on your mat for downward facing puppy. Keeping the arms activated, pressing down into the hands. And pushing down into your shins, your knees. Just really activate this pose here. Taking one more breath. And then your next inhale, coming back up through center, we'll move to downward facing dog. So tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back for your first downward facing dog. Bending one knee at a time, pushing the opposite heel towards the mat. Maybe shaking the head, yes or no. And just feel the calves start to release. You push the heels down towards the mat. On your inhale, come up onto your toes. Exhale, release the heels down. One more time. Inhale, up onto the toes. Just notice how your upper body pulls forward. Next, exhale, releasing down. One more time, just because that felt good. And just feel the shoulders coming over the wrists. And exhale, release down. Taking a cleansing breath in here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out your mouth. Force it out, push it out. Now your next exhale, look between the hands, step or walk the feet up towards the top of your mat. For Uttanasana, forward fold. Bending at the knees, since we're still a little warming up here, grabbing the opposite hand to the elbow. Swaying side to side, relax your neck. Just look and gaze back towards your feet or your knees. One more breath. Coming to stillness, dropping the fingertips towards the mat. Inhale as you roll up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders coming up by the ears, and then back and down. So we'll move through slow sun salutation, Surya Namaskar B. So on your inhale, bring your arms up towards the sky. Get a little mini back bend there. Exhale, sit back into chair pose. So bend the knees. Looks like you're sitting back into a chair. Keeping the chest lifted. And tuck the pelvis. Keeping the core strong, navel pulling in. Inhale here, then exhale, hinge forward. Fingertips towards your mat, straighten the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the knees, drop the hands to the mat, step it back to your plank pose. So if you're in plank, push the heels towards the wall behind you. You always have the option to drop to your knees and do plank that way as well. So listen to your body, do what feels good for it today. But wherever you are, continue to keep pushing down into the hands. So focus on pushing into the floor so those shoulders are kind of like rounding off your back. Next, inhale, shifting forward slightly wherever you are. Drop to the knees now if you want as well. Exhale, chaturanga, bend at the elbows, lowering towards the mat. Inhale for a little baby cobra pose. Exhale, we'll release. One more time. Inhale up. Maybe stretching the arms a little bit longer. Exhale, release down. Inhale to your tabletop or plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a breath there. Feet are about shoulder width apart. Maybe lift the toes off the mat. Notice the balls of the feet. Release the toes back down. On your inhale, straighten the right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, we'll swing that right leg in between the hands, top of the mat, walking the back foot in to ground it. Inhaling up to warrior one pose. Front knee bends in line with the ankle. Shoulders drop down your back and pinky spin in towards each other. Arms are long. Pushing down into your back heel. Inhaling here. Exhale, bringing the hands back down to the mat. Step it back to plank or just push to downward facing dog. So if you'd like to take that chaturanga series, feel free to do the chaturanga with your cobra or upward facing dog to down dog. Otherwise, skip that and just go straight to down dog. Taking a cleansing breath in. Exhale out the mouth. Next, inhale, left leg rises this time. Exhale, swing it through between the hands, top of the mat, walking the back foot in. Inhale up as you come up to your warrior one pose. Pushing the back hip up and the front hip back. So the right hip is pushing upwards. And the back one, and the front one pushing backwards. Breathe here. Feel your warrior goddess start to shine through here. Just awakening your heart, bringing the light down through your hands and down into your body. Inhale here, then exhale, bringing the hands back down to the mat. Step it back to your plank, move through your chaturanga, or just push to downward facing dog. So however much action you want today, do what feels good for you. Once in downward facing dog, we'll take another cleansing breath in. Exhale out the mouth, push it out. And every time we forcefully exhale, we're really just getting out all the darkness, all the junk that's been just clogging our aura up and our energy. So we want to focus on our white light shining through. When you're ready, we'll shift forward into plank. And if you wish, drop to your knees. We'll come down onto our forearms and move into Dolphin Pose. So Dolphin Pose, we walk our feet inwards, making the V shape, just like in downward facing dog. And if this is too much, feel free to do that downward facing puppy instead. So wherever you're at, you're working for your own body, and that's all your body needs. It's just for you to learn to listen to its little messages. When you're ready, walk the feet backwards for your forearm plank. Lower the knees to the mat, lower the tummy to the mat. And we'll go ahead and just stack our hands on top of each other. Place your forehead on your hands and wiggle the hips side to side. Just take a little break here. I recognize that awareness is the first step in healing or changing. I become more aware in each passing day. Coming to stillness, hands come on either side of your chest at the upper rib cage, pushing up to tabletop or plank, then push back to your downward facing dog. So we're shortening our downward facing dog stance, bringing the feet in. And I'd like you to try to experiment with just taking the right hand to the outside of the left ankle for a little twist in downward facing dog. And then gazing over underneath your left arm. Take another breath here. And then release, and we'll move to the opposite side. So the left hand grabs on the outside of the right foot or ankle or calf, wherever you can reach, gazing underneath the right arm. One more breath. And then release that hand. Release the knees back down to the mat. Sit back into your child's pose. So take a moment. Maybe rest the hands on your sides instead to release the upper back, the shoulders. And just take a moment to listen to your body. Listen to any messages that may be coming through. And notice any parts of your body that might be holding any darkness or pain. And let's just send love to that area. Bringing in white light and love, connection. And when we live through our heart space, we start to express our true, authentic selves. And when we do that, we encourage other people to express their own light and shine their own light, express themselves. So when you're ready, let's extend those arms back out in front. Coming back to your downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, we'll walk our hands back to our feet. So we're in a forward fold at the back of our mat. Inhales, you sit up into your chair pose. Bending the knees, maybe moving the feet a little closer, wider apart. Inhale here. And then exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Inhale as you straighten the legs, hands to the heart. And we're going to move into our Crescent Lunge first. So it's taking a nice big step with your right foot up your mat. And then the back foot, the heel lifts off the mat. I don't know why I had so much trouble with that last night. It was falling all over the place. So if you're there, you're not alone. We're just moving into the pose in a different way. So breathe here. Inhales your arms, lift up towards the sky. Now on your next exhale, ground the back foot, twist the hips towards the long edge of your mat. You may have to shift the front foot up a little bit, lining up the heel of the front foot with the arch of your back foot. Gazing over the front hand, feeling the stretch in your warrior goddess pose. Little tuck in the tailbone. Again, core is engaged. Next, inhale, dropping the back arm down towards the crease at the back of the knee. And just massage that crease. This is our Ganesh point. This is where we remove obstacles. So anything standing in your way of shining your light, just picture that releasing as you massage this point. Now your next inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, reach it forward with the front hand. Tilt the hips for Trikhin Asana. So for Trikhin Asana, you can place your hand on the upper thigh, the shin, or reaching down. You can also use your block here and place the block underneath the hand. And just reaching on the outside of the pinky toe side of the foot. Again, pushing the pelvis forward, so you got that little tuck in the pelvis. You may need a little bit of a micro bend in the front knee. The hamstrings are tight. One more breath. Shifting the block to the side. Inhale, use your oblique to pull and peel yourself up. And then we'll twist back in towards our high lunge. So carefully twist your hips towards the short edge of the mat now. So in your Crescent Lunge. Very carefully. Then when you're ready, we'll inch our front foot backwards and push ourselves towards the back of the mat. A little tricky there. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center, relax the arms. And here, just take a nice deep breath in. Exhale it out. We'll move to our opposite side. So when you're ready, taking a giant step forward with the left foot into a Crescent Lunge. Again, back heel is pushing back behind you. Squaring the hips towards the top of the mat for a moment. Inhale as your arms stretch upwards. Rock the shoulders down your back. See if you can extend that back knee just a little bit more. Then on your next exhale, we're going to twist towards our Warrior Two pose. So I'm going to just switch sides so that I can face the camera. You don't have to see my butt. So in Warrior Two, lining up the front knee with the ankle. Gazing over your front knee, you should see your big toe. If not, inch the foot forward just a tad. Drawing attention to your shoulders, let's spin the palms upwards and notice what the shoulders do. And then spin them down and feel them rock down your back. Again, spin the palms upwards and then down. One more time. Just notice how the shoulders move. And then take the thumbs and spin them down in the opposite direction And then come back to center. On your next inhale, dropping the back arm to the crease behind the back knee. Lift the heart towards the sky, massage the crease. Again, removing obstacles. This is our gallbladder point in our energy medicine yoga. So just massaging that. If there's any tenderness, then we're just releasing the obstacles. On your next inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, reach it forward. Tilt the hips for your triangle pose. Gazing up towards the top hand or straight ahead, whatever feels good. Again, whatever option for the bottom hand as well. Keep lifting through the dark side of this pose. So lifting from the low waist, so that would be your left side. Try lifting up through the bottom side. Keeping the space between the quad and your waist. And the next inhale, use the oblique to pull yourself back up center. And we'll spin our hips towards the top of our mat again. Coming into your Crescent Lunge. Holding there. And when you're ready, bring our hands to heart center and start to move that front foot backwards very carefully. So we're standing at the back of our mat. Just going to shift myself back. And take a breath there. Inhaling in fresh, clean oxygen. Exhale, let's forcefully exhale out the mouth. Again, inhale, the arms rise. Exhale, diving forward, fingertips towards your mat. Inhale for the halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, bend the knees, walk the hands out towards the top of your mat, and then push into downward facing dog. Breathe there. Next, exhale, look between the hands, step or walk the feet up towards the top of the mat, into your forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale and fold. Inhale up to chair pose. Sink the hips backwards, bend the knees. Get more space between the feet. You'll be more balanced. Bringing them closer together may be more challenging. Let's work with those eagle arms. So bringing the right arm underneath your left elbow. And we're crossing them like this. Crossing at the elbows, and if you can do a second cross at the wrists. And from here, keeping the bend in the knees, we'll straighten our right leg back behind us. Ground through the heel for Warrior One pose. So left leg is in front, right leg stepped behind. Now your next inhale, straighten the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands behind the low back, clasp the fingers, press the palms. Inhale, straighten the front leg, lift the heart. Exhale, hinging forward from the waist. And finding the chest stretch. So bringing the arms like they're coming up overhead. Stretching across the heart chakra. Breathing here. Keep your weight even in both feet. Keep the neck relaxed and long. Now your next inhale, use your core to pull yourself up, release the hands, and lift the arms back up to the sky. Exhale, the hands come to heart center, step it to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, sink back chair. So we're moving the body a little bit more today to just get the energy flowing and the energy moving. The sun's out, the sun is bright, and we want our light to shine just as bright as the sun. When you're ready, bringing the right elbow underneath, or wait, left elbow underneath right this time. So the opposite side. Lifting those elbows slightly up, forearms gently pull away. And when you're ready, stepping the left foot back behind, rounding through the heel for your Warrior One pose. And squaring the hips off towards the top of the mat. Feel the stretch across your back. One more breath here. Next, inhale, arms rise. Exhale, bring the arms behind the low back, clasp fingers, press the palms. Inhale, straighten the front leg, lift the heart. Exhale, hinge forward, and bring the arms like they're coming up overhead. Keeping the neck long and soft. Core is still engaged, pulling the navel back to protect the low back. And again, a little mini micro bend in this pose might be necessary if the hamstrings are tight. Grounding through the entire foot on both sides. Both feet are firmly rooted and pressed into your ground, and into your mat. Next, inhale, use the core to pull yourself up as you release the hands, stretching them up long. Exhale, the hands come back to heart center, stepping to the top of your mat. So take a moment here to close the eyes. If you'd like to take our mudra and cross the wrists and hook the thumbs again, feel free to do that. And just feel the heart beating inside your chest. And just picturing a layer of the heart being stripped away. Just visualize it being removed, whatever's been sitting heavy on the heart. Because we need you to shine your light bright. We need you to be authentic. We need you to express your love. And just shine your light so that everyone else around you can. Remembering to keep those good boundaries so not to wear down your own energy. So we want to keep our energy high, vibrating just immensely out into the world. And that reminds me that in about 15 minutes there's a collective healing going on at 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. for the next couple days. So at 11 a.m. and p.m. the next couple days, take a moment to just place your hands on your heart, the wings of the heart. Feel the joy, feel harmony, feel peace. And visualize the world that you want to live in. And just sending that message out to the universe will bring us both. We're bringing us all, we're bringing the collective back into a more natural state, a healthier state. And then we'll move into our eagle pose. So I'm going to face you. You can stay at the top of your mat if you wish. So in the eagle pose, we'll lift our arms first up towards the sky, sit back into your chair, bringing the right elbow underneath the left for eagle arms. Then we'll bring the right knee over the left. You can either tap the toes right next to the left foot, or go ahead and wrap the toes around the ankle if you want to work with more balance. So know that wherever you are, you're working for your own body, and that's all we need. It's for you to shine your own light in your unique way. Keep the core strong. Maybe sink back a little bit more, diving back into the standing heel. One more breath. And for the release, we'll release the arms and then stretch that, cross that leg out so you're like flying and taking off like the eagle. And then we'll all come back into center. Taking a little energy medicine here. So we'll take our hands at our third eye and spread the energy across to our temples. Massage it and then shake it off. 2 more times. Spreading the energy, opening the third eye, shake it off. 1 more time. Feel that intuition, just opening and awakening. Shake it off. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, sit back chair. Opposite side. So this time, left arm underneath right. For your eagle arms, left knee over right knee. Tap the toes on the opposite side, or wrap the toes around the ankle. So every day is a little bit different. You might get this pose one day, or you might not. Sometimes I just can't wrap my other foot around. So it's just balancing out your male and your female side, your masculine and feminine energy. We'll take 2 more breaths here. So eagles remind us to be courageous, to listen to our inner wisdom, to use that third eye. When you're ready, release the arms, stretching the legs out to the side, flying, and then release all back center. We'll take 1 more round of that third eye opening. So hands to the third eye, spread across to the temples, massage, and shake it off. 2 more. Spread across the forehead, shake it off. 1 more. Spreading the energy, shake it off. And bring the hands back to the heart. We'll make our way down onto our mats. Inhale, the arms extend upwards. Little mini back bend here if you'd like. Exhale, diving forward, fingertips toward your mat. Inhale to your halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. If you need the block, we're going to step back to our lunge. So either place the hands on the mat or on the block. Step it back with your right foot. So you're in a runner's lunge here. Dropping the right hand to the mat. Exhale as you twist and open up to your left side. So twisting towards the bent knee. The twisting is a great way to help us just wring out anything like a towel. Just wring it out, anything not serving you. Use this moment to let go of any thoughts that have been agonizing and bringing your energy down. And then we'll come back through center and step it forward. So we're in Uttanasana, forward fold. Shake out the legs if you like, bending the knees. When you're ready, stepping back with the left foot. You can find your balance in your runner's lunge. Try to lift the belly off the bottom leg there. When you're ready, ground the left hand. Exhale as you twist towards your right side. Keep pushing the back heel back behind you. Find the twist in the waist. And you can always use that block underneath the bottom hand. So do what serves you best. Because when you're serving yourself best and you're loving yourself in your body, that helps us all shine our own light even brighter. And we'll come back through down center. Shift the block to the side. Step it back to your plank pose. Drop to the knees. And push the hips back to a child's pose. Take a little bit of a rest here. Widen the knees towards the long edge of your mat. And just really allow the body to surrender to the earth. Relax your arms, relax your mind, your breath. And our last message for today is from an angel oracle deck. And I picked these at random, so back to our shining our light and being authentic. This card says to listen. Quiet your mind, beloved one, and listen to our gentle reassurance that everything has been taken care of. Stay in a quiet and receptive state without worrying about the exact nature of your desire's manifestation. A quiet mind and body hears us quickly and clearly. This is our request to you. Listen. So again, we're going back to that state of being quiet and just listening to our inner voice, our inner wisdom, taking what you've learned, surrendering it to the angels, the universe, asking them what's real, what feels right to you. And then sitting in meditation and listening to your inner wisdom, your gut feeling. Just allow yourself some quiet time to hear your own higher self. Now your next inhale, we'll go ahead and walk the hands back towards the body, coming up onto our knees and just sinking and sitting back onto our heels. You can use a block underneath you if that feels good. So that would just look like this. Placing our hands on our low back, squeeze the shoulder or the elbows back behind you, and then lift the heart up towards the sky by pushing the chest forward. And then squeezing the elbows back behind so the shoulder blades are squeezing. And we'll come back through center, release the block, and we'll move to onto our tummies for just a moment to get a little bit more of a chest stretch before we go into our back bend. So stretching the left arm out to one side. We'll bend that left elbow and then shift the elbow so it's a little up higher than your shoulder. Palm facing down, rolling over towards that bent arm. And as the top leg, the right leg can just float back behind you. You can place the sole of the leg onto the mat. Sole of the foot. And just stay here for about 2 more breaths. Feel a deep chest stretch. And we'll come back through center once you feel complete. Okay, we'll do that on the opposite side. So stretching the right hand out long first. And then bending the right elbow, shifting that upwards so the elbow is a little higher than the shoulder. When you're ready, you have to take the left hand, just gently push yourself over onto your side. Relax the temple on the mat. And then that opposite leg, I like to bring it so that the sole of the foot rests on the earth behind me on the opposite side of the right leg. So it's a little tricky. Some people like to just rest that leg on top or let it float. Breathing here. And opening your heart space, seeing the light just shine from your heart. When our heart chakra is open and balanced, all the other chakras, they're just like, okay, I'm on board. Now that the heart's open, let's go. When you're ready, we'll roll back over to center. And gently push yourself up to tabletop position. We'll come to standing on our knees. So from standing on your knees, you can take the hands on the low back, just like we were in hero pose. Knees are hip width apart. When you're ready, you'll push your hips forward, round the upper spine. So you want to try to make the heart the highest point of your body here. So dropping the head back behind you, opening the throat. And the main point is to keep the hips in line with the knees. One more breath. Then slowly release yourself back up out of this pose. Shake the arms out. And we'll do that one more time. So anyone, if you'd like to go further, you're at home, feel free to do your thing. Placing the hands on the low back once again. Pushing the pelvis forward. Round yourself, round the spine like you're rounding over a big giant ball here. Maybe you can picture that as a globe, the earth. So we're rounding our bodies and totally taking up the earth here. There's a big earth underneath. So again, if you like to go further, you can release the hands and reach back toward your heels. But for me today, this is enough. And when you're ready, slowly coming upwards out of the pose. We'll find ourselves in a seated position. Stretching the legs out long in front of us. We'll take a forward fold just to offset that back bend. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hinging and reaching towards your calf or your shins, your ankles, your feet. Trying to keep the spine lengthened. Breathe here. I recognize that awareness is the first step in healing and changing. I become more aware with each passing day. So just being aware to what's going on around you and inside you. Listening to your little triggers that come up from day to day. They say our family and people that we're around the most are the ones that we learn the most from. So if any triggers come up, just be like, why am I feeling this angry emotion? What is it? And look deep within. And again, the angels say to listen. So listen when that happens. When you're ready, slowly walk the hands up your legs. And we're going to take a little bit it's a little twist pose, but another shoulder opener. So it's a little difficult to get in sometimes, so I'll do my best. But it's Trikhin Asana, so we take our left sole of the foot and just place it inside the right thigh there. The bottom foot is flexed so the toes come back towards you. You bring that left elbow on the inside of the left knee. So if this is all further, you can go. Just stay here and open towards the side like this. You can stretch your left hand and walk it up towards the right foot and then reach back behind you. Maybe you take that right hand and bring it into the hip crease. And those who would like to go further, you can wrap that left hand around the knee, grabbing your hands, attaching them, and just feel a little bit of a chest, shoulder opener, twist. And take another breath here. And release this pose. We'll move to the opposite side. So it's 10:59, so 11 a.m. is coming up here. So we're all going to take that moment together. So before we go in and do the opposite side, let's just take that moment together and place our hands on our heart. And as a collective, let's just picture the earth being peaceful. Let's picture seeing everyone smile again, hugging your loved ones, your friends. Picture the joy coming back to earth. Picture more love coming to earth, pushing away the fear. So any of that fear that's been coming up or those uncomfortable feelings, see the love that's coming out from your heart, just pushing it all away. Just know and trust that the universe is working for our highest good. Again, 11 a.m., 11 p.m., we're doing a collective healing the next couple days to send love out to the universe. Because the more people doing it together makes it all the more powerful. And it's just going to vibrate and raise the energy of the planet as a whole. Alright, so now that we spread our love out, let's go move to the opposite side. So, the right sole of the foot comes inside the left knee, or the left thigh. Left foot flexing back towards you. And then the right arm comes inside the right knee. Staying here where you can reach the fingertips towards the mat or even onto a block. And the left arm can come behind the low back and maybe into the hip crease. For those who would like to go further, you can attach the arms back behind you and you kind of like wrap the leg inside the arms there. It's a little tricky. You're opening your heart space kind of towards the side, so trying to keep the spine long, lengthened. Gazing towards the side. Take one more breath here. And then we'll release our hands, release out of the pose. Turning, I'm just going to turn back to my side on my mat. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat, hands behind the knees. Inhale as you lift the heart. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. Inhale again, lengthen. Exhale and round. One more time, inhale up. Taking in all that oxygen. Exhale, round. And go all the way up onto your backs. So once you're on your back, just hug the knees in towards the chest. Rock side to side. Just going to take a moment, make sure I'm on time, okay? So this is going to 11:15 or so. We're just going to cool down with a few more poses. And I'll lead you through a meditation. And we'll be through. Coming to stillness. Opening the arms out to the sides. On your exhale, dropping the legs over towards your left. Maybe a little shift in the hips towards the right. And sending the gaze over your right arm, so the opposite direction as the knees. In this pose, sometimes I like to straighten the top leg. I get a little bit of a outer hip stretch for my body there. So if that feels good for you, feel free to test out that option. Making sure both shoulders are still pressing into the mat. Just breathing here. Again, coming back to that affirmation about setting clear boundaries, protect your energy. So as you spread awareness to anybody, just remember to protect your energy at the same time. Have good boundaries. Know when to stop. Breathing. Take one more breath here. Now your next inhale will come back through center and swap to the opposite side. So my legs are dropping towards my right. If you're following me on the right, on the same side. And my gaze goes over my left arm, finding a nice twist in your hips. And again, in your upper back to ground the shoulders. Again, in the neck. So you look to the opposite direction. If you like that option with the top leg stretched out, nice and straight, test it out, see how it feels. Gently closing the eyelids over the eyes if you'd like to further calm the brain down. Now is a good time to listen to your body. Listen to the messages coming through. Yoga gets us, it helps move our energy, and it helps shift any of the darkness out. Get your energy purging so that you can hear more clearly, become more aware. Just listening to your higher self, knowing what's good for you and your body, your mind, and your soul. And when you're ready, we'll come back through center, hugging the knees in towards the chest. Or if you need any other pose to finish off the practice today, I encourage you to take one more last pose before we go into final relaxation. So that can be a happy baby, where we grab our feet and bring our knees towards our armpits, rocking side to side. If you like to stretch your legs out in your happy baby, test that out. If you need a back bend, take a bridge pose or waterfall pose to get the circulation just moving, since we're usually the opposite direction all day. So just listening and doing what's right for you. Figure 4 is another good hip stretch. And if you're working one side, go ahead and swap to the opposite side. Now is your chance to take a moment and listen to your body's messages, where you've been holding any tension. And remembering that when you shine your light, when you work on yourself, when you work to heal whatever triggers you, it encourages everyone else around you to do the same and to be their more authentic self and to shine their own light. When you're ready, setting up for Shavasana by stretching the legs out long and the arms by the sides. So I like to take a lot of space up here so you can just spread out as much as you can. Staying here, or I like to sit up to do the meditation. If you like to join me there, feel free to do so. So, feeling the back of your body sinking into the earth. Feel the energy in your body shifting, realigning, bringing you back to your true self. And start to visualize a light coming down from the universe into your body. And know that whatever color comes through for you is the color of healing for your own internal self. So notice that color. It can be white, gold, red, blue, just any color. And take that color and move it through the top of your head, behind your eyes, your ears, and down your throat. Notice how vibrant the color is. How the color is not afraid to shine its truest color. Allow that color to move down through the throat, the heart space, and down your arms. As you work with this color push out any of the darkness that's been holding you back. Notice it moving down into your abdominal region. Into your hips and your womb. Trickling down your legs, pushing out your ankles and your feet. Allow that color to push through your entire body. Almost like it's pushing out any of the obstacles, any tension or pain. Notice it pushing down and down and down until it finally exits your feet, pouring down into Mother Earth, knowing she can take everything and anything from us. And at the same time, she gives you her love, compassion, awareness, courage. And anytime you need that courage, come back to Eagle Pose. That Eagle Pose helps you to connect with your courage, your inner wisdom, helps you rise above the darkness. So see that eagle is flying in the brightest, bright blue sky. And that's you. It's in the brightest sky ever, hovering over all the darkness because you don't need that. You've learned from it. You're moving on. You're pushing forward. And you're rising. You're rising up above the darkness. You're shining your light so bright that everyone else around you shines theirs. Taking the next few moments to just be in this eagle-like state. And you'll know when it's time to come back when I ring the Tibetan bowl. Anytime the mind wanders, come back to your color, back to your breath, back to the soaring eagle. wiggling your fingers, your toes, bringing your awareness back to the body and the room that you're in. Coming out of that eagle-like state. And bring all that light that you found, all that light and all that love is now within you so that you can shine it out in the world. Rolling over onto your favorite side, take a moment to lay in a fetal position. Notice the mind, the body, the soul. Notice the changes. I recognize awareness is the first step in healing or changing. I become more aware with each passing day. And when you're ready, using your hands to gently push yourself up to a seated position. I am kind and loving towards others while creating clear boundaries that protect my good feeling emotions. So all this light that's shining within you now, protect it. Make a boundary that no one can take this good feeling away from you. This is yours. You're allowed to be happy. You're allowed to be joyful when you feel those feelings, even when there's a whole bunch of fear and stuff surrounding you. You can still be happy. It's your right to be joyful. No one can take that feeling away from you. So shine it, because we all need it. Bring the hands to your heart if they're not already there, reminding us to have good intentions towards ourselves and others. Bowing our head, hands towards the mouth, reminding ourselves to have positive, honest communication with ourselves and others. And hands towards the forehead, reminding ourselves to have positive, loving thoughts towards ourselves and others. And we'll come back to the heart, breathing the eyes open if they're closed. The light in me shines through the light in you. Namaste. Thank you all for joining, and please shine your light. We all need it more than ever now. So keep that good feeling going, and remember 11 a.m., 11 p.m. next few days as a collective to feel that joy.